Okay, so this is awkward, but I finally found my mic after I did the whole Resident Evil review. Which kind of stinks when you think about it, because all that static-y stuff, and I had a better quality mic this entire time, and I just didn't bother finding it. But, yeah, well, alright then. I'm going to review Mass Effect 3, and again, this is a game that's been out for a very long time already, but I wanted to review it, and I never did. So, the thing about Mass Effect is I'm sure that pretty much everyone who's gonna play it has already played it or heard a lot about it, but it might be useful for, Nintendo fans for when this comes out on Wii U, when they don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a good working PC, then you can get the game for Wii U. I will say about that is how I view about Mass Effect 3 being on the Wii U is how I pretty much feel about Mass Effect 2 going on PlayStation 3. It was just kind of weird. Like, the only way you can get the full-on Mass Effect experience is through Xbox 360 or PC. You see, Mass Effect was the first one. I mean, they were all made by BioWare, but the first one was published by Microsoft, so it was only on Microsoft systems. But then the second one was published by EA for some reason. They said, okay, well, we're going to widen the horizons, and we'll bring it. And like a year later, they brought it to PlayStation 3 for some reason. And then they gave them a whole bunch of extras, like I think that they came with free Overlord. Is it Overlord or Overload? Overlord DLC. And a Genesis comic, which lets you make all the major decisions of the first one, but all of the side quests that you did in the first one will not carry over because it doesn't let you do them. So, really, the only way to have a full-on Mass Effect experience is through Xbox or PC. Wii U is going to be even worse because you don't get to do any of the stuff in the first or second game. I'm guessing that it's probably going to do they're probably going to do with it what they did with the PS3 version. My guess, it's probably going to come with the Ashes to Ashes DLC for free, and it'll probably come with some free interactive comic that tells the story of the first and second games. Because at this point in the story, I mean, it's the very end of the trilogy, and it's like you're just now starting it. It's going to be awkward. Like, you're not going to feel the same emotional attachment to it as everyone else did. With all these characters like Garrus, Tali, the two of the squad members, they've been in every single game. But yeah, I mean, if you don't really care about the story whatsoever, then, and you just want a good game that's fun and role RPG, then yeah, it would still be fine to get this game for Wii U. Or, if you had played Mass Effect 1 and 2, and you hadn't played Mass Effect 3, so you know the story of the first two, then this will still be good to play, but it would just be kind of awkward, like, if you never played the first or second game and you just kind of start from here. But, I mean, it's better, than nothing, I guess. Alright, I wasted like 4 minutes talking about that. What I want to say about Mass Effect 3, it's actually not the worst in the series. I guess I think most people view it as in the best games are 2, 1, 3. I view it as my favorites. My favorite is the first one. Mass Effect is my favorite. Mass Effect 3 is my second favorite, and Mass Effect 2 is my least favorite. The reason for that is, the way I view it, Mass Effect 1 has the worst gameplay, but it has the best story. Mass Effect 3 has the worst story, but it has the best gameplay. Mass Effect 2 has an even balance. It doesn't have the best story, but it doesn't have the worst. It doesn't have the best gameplay, but it doesn't have the worst. And Mass Effect 3 is the most fun to play. For me, anyway, Mass Effect 3 is the most fun to play in the combat situations. It makes the first two almost seem unplayable. That's how much it's improved. But as far as the story goes, I mean, of course, it's going to be... If you played the first and second games, of course you know that it's going to be dark and gritty, but it's just a little bit depressing. I mean, I understand and that it's going to be like that, but I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely not my favorite story. I mean, I understand and I respect the story of it, and I understand it had to be done, but it's just a little bit sad. A lot of stuff really, I mean, but thing about it is, like, a lot of the sentimental story stuff, if you did something wrong in Mass Effect 1 or 2, it's just not there in Mass Effect 3. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to give any spoilers, but let's just say some of the... If you played Mass Effect 2, you know that there's... At the very... And even if you haven't beaten the game, they tell you about this mission throughout the entire thing. Even if you haven't beaten the game, at the end of Mass Effect 2, there's a suicide mission. And on this suicide mission, you basically, if you don't have all the upgrades you need, if you don't have all the loyalty missions done, if you don't put characters in charge of the correct situations, then you will have squad mates who die. And one of the squad mates that dies the easiest, like, I've only ever found one way for him not to die. I'm sure there's more ways, but I've only ever found one surefire way for him to survive. Then he'll die in... Well, he's a major impact in the third story, and it's just the third game, I mean, really is a lot different without that character in it. And that's also ignoring that Garrus and Tali, if they die on the suicide mission in the second one, well, there's only 6 crew members, 7 if you have the DLC Javik. And if Garrus and Tali died on the suicide mission, well, you're down to 4 crew members now, or maybe even 5. But you got to keep that in mind. And of course, the game is going to be much different without Garrus or Tali, because they're 2 of the most important characters in the series. Of course, if you let them die in the suicide mission, why would you do that? That's unacceptable. Unless you're trying to, be like the ultimate renegade and have everybody die. But, yeah. Another thing is, a lot of the decisions from the first game don't really seem to matter. The only real major decision that really seems to come back to bite you in Mass Effect 2 or 3, and it really bites you either way, it doesn't matter what decision you make, is if you let Kaidan or Ashley die in Virmire. And that... The only reason that makes a difference is because the one that survives comes back as a crew member in Mass Effect 3. So they're there again, basically, and Shepard regrets letting the other one die. I guess you could say the Rex thing is major. You'd have to play it to figure out why, but it's not that major. The whole Rachni thing didn't really make that much of a difference. And the other major decisions, I guess your romance kind of does. Not really. Yeah, as far as the gameplay goes, why it's the best is they took the best of both worlds from Mass Effect 1 and 2. Like, for Mass Effect 1, they had all the weapons could be leveled up to level 10, but there were just so many of them, and they were all exactly the same weapon. But in Mass Effect 2, there were different weapons. All of the weapons were different. So in Mass Effect 3, they took the best of both worlds. So they have like lots and lots of guns in every category, but it's like Mass Effect 2 where they're all different, and you can level them up to level 10. You can add upgrades and things like that to them. The armor, there's a lot more armor customization. I mean, you can even change the color of the lights on the back of his suit. You can't do that in Mass Effect 2. They added more casual outfits on the Normandy. Like, you can wear a leather jacket now. If you got the collector's edition like I did, you get to wear a hoodie on the Normandy. The team members are a lot more fun. They'll just be walking around the Citadel, and like you can interact with them, or they'll migrate within the Normandy, and you can interact with them different times throughout the game. So the gameplay is definitely the best one, and it really upsets me that it took them this long in the series to perfect it, but it's okay. Really, Mass Effect 3 is fantastic. I mean, the missions, the assignments, they're all fun. There's only two major problems I have with it. One, they really force you to play multiplayer, because you won't get the best ending if you don't. I've heard it's possible to get, you have to get at least like 4,000 or 5,000 EMS to get the best ending. I've heard it's possible to get that much without playing multiplayer, but I mean, I did absolutely everything that I could possibly have done, and I still only had 3,000 something. So, but on the plus side, if you want the perfect ending, all you have to do is play tons you can play tons and tons of multiplayer and not ever have to do any of the side missions. So I guess that's a plus, but if it's like me and multiplayer is okay to play every once in a while, but it's a single player game. That's why you bought it. You want to play it alone. Well, it kind of presents a dilemma. Let's see now. Oh, and the other problem is what happens when people stop playing multiplayer like 2 or 3 years from now, and you want to go back and play Mass Effect 3, and, well, you can't get a high enough EMS for the best ending. So, what do? You know what I mean? I think that if it's going to be possible to get the highest EMS, it would be on Xbox, because you can play the entire trilogy. But, I don't know. And, of course, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the ending. I heard BioWare's coming out with some DLC thing this summer. I don't know what it means. I mean, it's already summer and it's not here. But I guess I don't know. I would say we have to be patient, but I think we've earned the right to not be patient with all the crap they put us through. So, it's just my opinion on it. So bottom line is, I'm not necessarily saying don't get it for Wii U if that's what you're planning. Just keep in mind that if you don't know the story of the first two, it's not going to be as special to you as it is to most players. But it's still a good game, and it'll be fun to play, and it'll be a fun experience. Mass Effect 3 is probably my favorite game of this year so far. Probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. 5 out of 5. Yeah, it's definitely a good game. It's a great game. Fantastic. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. I might do a review of the Mass Effect trilogy later on, but we'll see. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.